So, good evening, Nick. Sorry, Jamie. Sorry, Jamie. Yeah, that was my head then. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, buddy. Good, mate. Good. Thought we'd give everyone a bit of an update, mate, and tell them what we're doing and what we've got happening now. So, come across some documents we've been looking for a bit, and it's like a Bible to us. So, it's our way. It's our way in opening that door and closing the door on Betfair.
So, right, what actually is this document?
It's something I've been talking about since mid December last year, and it's called the Gambling Commission License Conditions and Codes of Practices. And for
yes.
punters or for lawyers or for barristers, it's the holy grail in taking these guys apart.
So, hang on. This is the actual rules that that the Betfair and the betting licensees have to go by, isn't it?
That's correct.
That is the contract.
That's their contract. That's what they have to abide by.
Right.
And so if they haven't, and when they haven't abided by it, it's up to us or a lawyer or a law firm or a barrister to pick that apart and prove your case.
Right. Okay. So, what little snippets was in there then? Was it? I mean, but we'll put the link in the description so everybody can have a look. But
okay. So what we're exposing in their code of practices and provisions is the cooperation and responsibility for third parties, the fair terms, display of rules and supervision of games, and additional consumer information, complaints and disputes, information requirements. So in general terms, this is what we need and this is what we do to prove our case. It's as simple as that. It's not a hard case. I mean,
right. So hang on. Let's refresh everybody. Our case is that the actual bet, Biden should have been Biden's side committed a huge amount of fraud, and therefore under their terms, we have, this is their rules, that if there's cheating, we're saying that Biden's side cheated and they were caught cheating. Betfair as arbitrator should have just disqualify them. Is that basically it, isn't it? That's what we're hoping. And do the licensees back us, the rules back us up on that?
Yeah. See, license condition clause 3.12, prevention of money laundering, combating and financing of terrorism, and where applicable, the proceeds of crime act. So what crime has been committed with the election fraud?
I think that's a crime, isn't it? That's a crime, isn't it?
It is a crime, and it's an act of terrorism because the election fraud and interference was greater than 9/11. Was an act of terror greater than 9/11. It
was greater because I lost quite a lot of money on this one. You know, I felt my bank account feels a bit terrorised by.
Well, you've had probably 80 to 100. You've had 140 million people being disenfranchised from the vote.
I know.
Disenfranchised. Even Democrat voters have been disenfranchised because they didn't get who they voted for. Not even them.
Yes. Yes, yeah, yeah. Of course, yes.
So it's there's a there's a lot to go through, and over the next couple of days we'll go through it a lot more in finer detail. But I
Yeah,
mean,
but if there's fraud, if there's widespread fraud in any or cheating, the bottom line is that they can't just go, oh no, it's all right, and pay out for once the other
well, they have
side.
to investigate it, and that's what I've been trying to bring to people's attention. They must, by law, investigate it, and then by law they must report on it, and by law they must act on it.
Right, and
And,
they haven't done this, have they? They've just said, no, no, Biden's won, nothing to see here. You can't, you can put a complaint in,
well, they
and they've
used
taken me money.
they used a company. Well, we touched on this last night. They used a company called Democracy Docket, and we've provided the details on who that is. So
Yeah, but they sort of shift. They sort of saying, "Oh, they're external source. They've shifted the blame. The blame, haven't they? They're trying to shift the blame to Democracy Docket.
well,
Can they do that?
no, they can't.
They can't do that.
Can't. A third under the Codes of Practices Act at the back of this Gambling Commission license conditions and codes of practice in the codes of practices, they can't rely on a third party to diminish their responsibility or liability. So their sole responsibility comes to Betfair and the
Right.
betting agents and
So they
Flutter.
can't say, "Oh no, this official body, has decided that there was no fraud and blah 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 blah, and
In
therefore."
December, in December last year, I wrote to and I CC Peter Jackson and I wrote to Sportsbet. I CC Barney Evans from Sportsbet. I see the complaints boards. I asked for access to the legal teams to provide them actual 600 pages of actual fraud and evidence, video evidence, testimony, packet data evidence, mathematicians, statisticians, scientists, and the Addison's Research Center in the US, which records all packet data. So, of the live actual voter fraud. And I said that they have a sole responsibility to view the evidence and to view the fraud and view the facts and not rely on a third party, which
Well,
they did.
yeah,
Use the third party to say, no, there's
it
no fraud.
stinks.
Who is the lawyer for the Democrats? Mark Ellis or Elias or whatever, Mark Eli, I think it is. Anyway, yeah. So, which he claimed out of 60 cases of litigation, there was no credible evidence which would have overturned the election, which is absolute bullshit. Absolute. Betting agencies know it. We've got a
Yeah,
copy of the Bible called the Gambling Commission, license conditions.
I'll post this in the links so that
Yeah, do that.
the people watching this can actually have a look, and uh, what
So we've got
sections what section is it that struck out to you on the Gambling Commission? Because how many pages document?
3.1.2.
So 3.1 and 3.2, right?
3.1.2.
And
So, I mean, this isn't rocket science. We've got people who are concerned. We're rushing things, and if we rush into this, we might have a weak case. And I mean, that's absolute rubbish. And they need to stop it because we're not rushing anything. This has been 4 months. We've done a lot of research. We've done a lot of work. We've sent a lot of emails. We look at what we're doing. We forward think. And we're doing everything a law firm would do, everything. So we're doing all the groundwork. We've got legal researchers, we've got legal document writers, we've got legal assistants. They're doing everything, and then we're doing things on top of that. So there's absolutely no rush into it at all.
no,
Not a thing being
no.
rushed.
I mean, at the end of the day, you.
And plan everything,
Mm.
and it's a simple case of exposing their compulsory obligation into reporting of all matters fraud, all matters suspicious, and terrorism, crime.
I shudder to I'm shuddered to think what's actually going on, because they're not acting as a I trusted them with my money, Betfair with my money, to hold on to the money for the bet. Now I'd like to know, who am I betting against? Because who's put up that money to give me such good odds?
Well, let's talk about that briefly. Who did put up the money?
Who put up the money?
Let's
I
get
mean,
into money laundering and racketeering.
well, I don't know. We don't know about that yet, but it's very suspicious.
Because we can subpoena that.
Can
we could actually subpoena it. Yeah, definitely. You can subpoena whatever you need
they're not acting. They're not acting in good faith. Betfair.
Well, that's in the code. That's in the Code of Practices Act.
And now we know that they should have acted differently under their licensing agreement. Then I'm very suspicious now.
Let me sort of like get people thinking here. Between $50 and $200 million was waged against Trump in lay bets every couple of hours. 50 to 200 million. Now,
and what odds were they getting? I said, this is the first bet I've ever done, so you have to forgive me on this. I don't know much about that, mate. A lay bet is because they're giving me such good odds and encourage me to bet. I mean, I got 34 to 1. I mean, it was a hugely, and Trump was well loved. Lots of people were queuing up for days to see him.
Well, Trump. They couldn't pack any more people into Trump's.
No, I mean it was silly.
Into his rallies, and Biden. They had fake crowds. They had fake horns, and they had.
I did see a few Biden crowds, but
he only had the media turn up.
Yeah, nobody liked him, did they?
No, he had no policy. He had no idea, and he's a career criminal. He's a career criminal.
I don't know about that, but he wasn't very good at speaking, and didn't have many people that liked him, and nobody writes about him, and nobody watches him even now. So we knew something was funny going on.
And so did the betting agencies. Absolutely.
Yeah, and they have this.
So did that person or person making those lay bets between 50 and 200 million at a time. And that was in Australia. It would have been happening in the UK, and it would have been happening across Europe. So
yeah, but this is the question: if they someone put a lay bet on and allowed me to get odds of such high magnitude, 34 to 1, it's a credible bet. How much money would they expect to win? How much money did they put down to my money? I don't know. I mean,
well, we could calculate it, but
it must be. They can't be winning a lot, can they?
No, they weren't. Their odds of the risk versus the reward would be hardly worth it. No ordinary person would make that or take that risk. I mean, unless they had access to unlimited money, or unless they were just populating those columns. We don't know. What was the money taken for those lay bets? We don't know. We could find out. But anyway, well, we don't need to go down that road. We just want our winnings and some damages, because we've been robbed. They know we can prove it, and without a shadow of a doubt, we can prove it. It's not rushed. It's not being impatient. Nothing impatient about it. We're entitled to our wins.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Well, I now we got the actual rules. It's like you'd think that the rules would be easy to find. I mean, it's been 4 months now. How many months? Quite a few months now, and this is the first time I've heard about the gambling license rules. So,
well, yeah. I've been back on the rules ever since, and I've been looking here and looking
Yeah,
there.
you have been going on
we
about these rules
just-
for a long time, and in the end,
Yeah.
I thought, well, there must be some sort of rules. I can't just open up a bookie, be a bookie. I've got to be licensed.
You've
So
got to be licensed, and
yeah,
there's very strict conditioning to that license, and maintaining that licensing, and risk auditing, and
there was
money
accusations of fraud.
laundering,
They were bound to investigate it properly.
and not only investigate it, they've got to report it, and that report's got to go through to the regulator, and then that regulator's got to report on it too to the government. So
There should be a
I know a lot
paper
of
trail
people,
for this, shouldn't there?
I know a lot of people had reported the fraud to the regulators, and the regulators where they sort of trick people. Well, we're not empowered to investigate the fraud, but no, you are empowered to monitor the betting operator. You're empowered to investigate the betting operator has upheld his licensing agreements. So if somebody has said and made a complaint against the betting agency, you are empowered to monitor that and investigate that. And the regulators didn't. Because
No.
I'll tell you why. Because the regulators are getting paid off people. That's what's going on.
Oh.
And there you go again. That's another criminal case. We can subpoena things there. And I'll guarantee find people
I don't know. It seems like it's very suspicious. It's embarrassing, isn't it? It's embarrassing. I'm saying it's suspicious because you have to prove things and everything, and we don't seem to have the ability to. I don't see the police rushing in to do anything. Apparently, I remember Finton did a video a few months ago, and he said, "Report it to the police," because I says he thought it was securities fraud had happened. Do you remember?
I thought Fintan was a reporter. Oh my God!
Yeah, but but he sounded really good. I thought, yeah, go for it, Vinton, and he hasn't said anything since. I'm a bit,
Oh look, he lost me as soon as he started defending the rules of the betting operators, and not the licensing agreements the betting operators have got to abide by.
He may not have known. I mean, he may not have known. I mean, you can't know everything.
I notified him, mate. I notified him in
notified him.
I notified him in his groups. I got banned, mate. I got censored. My messages got deleted. I got attacked by people in his group. Those people in his group, I reckon, are paid actors from Betfair.
There's an awful lot of money be sloshing about, and people do strange things. But I'm sorry to hear that because you actually notified him.
I notified him, mate.
Oh.
Why was he taking the angle in the direction of supporting the rules of the betting operators and not attacking the angle of the licensing obligations? It is rocket science. It's not rocket science, and there's nothing rushed about what we're doing, guys. So anyone telling you or getting in our group and saying, "Oh, I think they're rushing it," or "I think they're being impatient," stop it. Just stop it, because ain't nothing rushed here.
No. You see, I think a lot of people
patient.
You got to be a bit devil's advocate. A lot of people don't want they don't want to fight. Nobody wants to fight. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants to fight. Everybody wants Trump to come in and sort it all out. And I know he's pretty good, but he ain't that good. You can't sort out everything. And this is, like I say, we've got to sort this out the best way we can. So
some things you just got to fight for yourself. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Trump come and say, "Hey,
and it costs money. And
you pay them. That ain't gonna happen.
No,
ain't gonna happen.
No.
And I'll tell you what. Whatever we do today, and we do tomorrow, and we do over the next 2 weeks, it's going to save us time in the future.
I think so. I think you just got to have the.
So in any case, if Trump does
come back, worse.
If he does come back, and he proves what he proves, we can still prove what he was going to prove then, we can prove it now. And we don't need that he come back and things be overturned. So we've got to fight our fight. That's
yeah. I mean, let's
fight.
face it. We stuck some money in, and we got well, we got done over, didn't we? Really, and now we've got to bring the rules out and say, look, pal, pay up.
Well, that's right. We've got to. You ain't going to get nothing if you don't ask for it. You ain't going to get anything if you don't fight for it.
No.
I mean, these guys have got, you know, people will go, oh, well, you know, I've been fighting banks and I've been fighting this and I've been fighting that. Well, that's great. We're punters. We're not fighting the banks. We're fighting gambling agencies which have colluded with a foreign election theft. They've colluded with. They've aided and abetted. They're accomplices to fraud. They've committed internal fraud. They've committed breaches of their gambling license. Multiple. As far as I can read, we could have them lose their license.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to do that. We just want our winnings. We want our winnings for everyone.
Yeah.
We want everyone paid out. That's it. And we accept.
I feel like it feels, yeah. Well, okay.
Why would you go after just the high rollers? Why would you just go after just getting your stake back? Why wouldn't you go after the license conditions and codes of practice, which they have to abide by?
Well,
why? I don't know. There's, you know.
Some people, they've just got their own way of doing things, and it's not necessarily, you know, and you've got to choose what way you want to do it, and it, to me, I can't take this out. Finton was the one that when I felt very dark right as it happened, as soon as it happened, I felt very, very sad and very, very dark about it. I thought, oh no, you know, all that money, and how could I have made such a mistake, and all this lot, beat myself up about it. I checked everything, and he was there. He says, oh, we might be able to get back your stake here. And no, it's not all over. And at the time, it was very good. But he's not perfect, Finton. And maybe we've got
we're just not perfect either, mate. You know,
yeah.
No one. We don't expect anyone.
Perfect, yeah.
I've had so many people send me private messages, and their hearts are bleeding. You know, like because they've been banned or censored, or look, we get in dust up state with people. You know, and you do your head in, but we don't ban and censor people. Like if there's something we can sort out, we sort it out. You know, like it's as simple as that. Ain't nothing rushed about what we're doing. Ain't nothing.
No, I think we'll we've had a look at the license thing. We got the license thing out. We'll post it, and I think we'll have to go. I've had some comments that maybe there's not that much evidence. I just see so much. I just don't know. I just see so much. What we do, we'll have to go. We do the next video where we just try and have a little chat on each.
Who said there's not enough evidence?
Well, no. Some people do. I mean, you've got to remember they're not. They don't know everything. People don't know everything, and perhaps we have to. I know, scratch your heads, but we'll in the next video we'll have to just say we go through each little bit, and obviously put some links into help put some great videos out there explaining all that lots of good work,
and we'll compile some more. But I just shared a 600-page 562.
Shall I put that in the link?
462 pages.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't. You need a whole thing just to go through the list of the evidence, you know, and a lot of it just hasn't been shown just because, well, hasn't. Well, I don't know. I don't know. That seems very strange.
Basically, Drew, I went through this today. I spent 3 hours going through it. I need to spend more time, and there's been a lot of breaches in their licensing agreement, a lot of breaches. So the amount of penalties that they would get, and look,
Well,
being
as
honest,
this is about the
being honest,
license agreement,
being honest, they're
how many of
eligible
you?
to
So
have
you
their
found?
license
Yeah.
from them.
All right.
Absolutely,
I mean,
have their license stripped from them.
yeah.
But we just want to get our winnings. We just want to get our winnings, and we're going to take damages. We're not going to settle for anything else, and that's it. And we're not going to leave anyone behind, and we're going to cover everyone on every market. That's it. And that's what you do. Like you either help people out, or you take the line of helping Betfair. I don't know. It's to me, it's pretty obvious. To others, that they're still in that mind, or I think he's all right, or I think Herb's all right, or well, folks, this is this is a lot of money. Anything can happen, and they will do anything to get out of pain.
All right. Well, so is there anything, the licensing agreement? How many things did you find off the top of your head? Because there was you said that you found quite a few things. Can't list them.
Oh God, there's a lot. It's 80 pages, so 80 pages.
I know that they should have investigated fraud. So that's the most important one, isn't it?
Well, it is, and we found some pretty interesting. Like, if people who know me, I've gone on about the rules quite a bit, and the rules being agreed to. I mean, who agreed to any rules? Did anyone?
No.
Because it is in the licensing agreement, so and it touches in there. So and being fair and transparent.
No, I don't think they were. I don't think that's.
So the cash out feature being disabled, so that there is not fair and transparent. So was anybody notified before they made the bet that the cash out was disabled? No.
I think is it the 3.1, isn't it? Which one was actually says that if there's fraud, then
that's 3.1.2.
Okay, so look, just make sure you look up those ones on the. I'm just saying. If you watch this, go to the descriptions. Go to the Game Commission license. Look up the 3.1, 3.2, and then basically as soon as there was fraud, they should have or fixing or cheating, and yeah, they should have. People should have been disqualified, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's covered it at the moment. Is that?
Yeah, that'll do, mate.
All right then. All right, we'll do the. Okay, nice one. Cheers. Bye.
All right, see you, bud.